As an enthralling World Cup group stage comes to an end, the Arsenal players have been making headlines. So today we'll discuss as Xhaka and Martinelli shine, Thomas Partey's Arsenal return looms, what's happening with Ben White, as well as a transfer update from moves for Ismael Bennacer to a potential blockbuster transfer for Declan Rice. Yo, what is going on guys? My name is Babs14 and welcome back to your boys channel. As per, I hope you guys are doing sensational, and if you enjoy the content, don't forget to smash a like and also subscribe to the channel if you are new. But starting off with an Arsenal World Cup update. Japan and Takehiro Tomiyasu have done it. They have knocked out Germany as Tomiyasu came off the bench to shore things up as Japan beat Spain 2-1. And here you can see a very happy Tomiyasu after the game. Tomiyasu says, "I'm playing in the Premier League, so I was able to show what I can do on a day-to-day basis. I think I can do even better. I was able to play over 20 minutes and it was a good conditioning adjustment." At 24 years of age, the only thing that's holding back Tomiyasu from becoming one of the best defenders in the world is simply his injuries, and that's why he's not been starting for Japan. But on the topic of Arsenal defenders, a massive shout out to William Saliba making his World Cup debut for France. And even though the French lost, Saliba completed 37 accurate passes and won 2 out of 2 ground duels. Many Arsenal fans are still very confused. They simply don't understand why a quality player like Saliba isn't starting for France. But when you have the likes of Konate, Varane and Dayot Upamecano, the French are blessed in centre backs, and if anything this could be a blessing for Arsenal. Not only is Saliba getting a great experience, but he's also getting a very important rest. But on the topic of Arsenal centre backs, it's been confirmed that Ben White has left the England training base in Qatar and has returned home for personal reasons. There's nothing that has been confirmed, so at this moment of time, that is all we have so far. So as Arsenal fans and as people, we have to respect the man's privacy and simply send out our best wishes. But then you have Thomas Partey starting for Ghana as they were defeated 2-0 by Uruguay, which means the Ghana have been officially knocked out of the World Cup. Now for Partey himself, it was not his best performance, completing only 78% of his passes and losing the ball 22 times. As unfortunate as it is for Ghana, Arsenal will now get a Thomas Partey that has avoided injuries and is going to get a 3-week break. But then you have Granit Xhaka, who put in a masterclass as Switzerland beat Serbia 3-2, and with Xhaka of course being of Albanian heritage, that was a gargantuan game, completing 94% of his passes and 6 out of 6 long balls. And with that performance, Xhaka was named the official player of the match, becoming the second Arsenal player alongside Bukayo Saka to win the award this tournament. And I can't say I'm surprised, because when it comes for Granit Xhaka and playing for his country when it matters the most, just like how he done in the Euros, this guy thrives in the biggest moments. And next up for Granit is a massive game against Portugal this Tuesday. But what about the Arsenal Brazilians? Both Gabriel Martinelli and Gabriel Jesus got their first starts of the tournament, and in terms of Martinelli, he was on fire. Despite Brazil losing, he was by far the most impressive, completing 3 dribbles in the opening half, which was more than any other Brazilian player had managed in a full game so far in the tournament. At 21 years of age to arrive at the world scene, it is no mean feat, and Arsenal fans have been harping about this guy for a very long time. This guy is the present and the future, and this was another confirmation that Arsenal have a super talent on their hands. But then you have Gabriel Jesus, subbed off in the 64th minute, having played a very passive game, and here you have him at full time. And as you guys can see, Jesus is not happy, and Arsenal fans won't want to hear this, but things could get even worse, as Reisa Simplicio of Goal Brazil confirms that Gabriel Jesus felt pain in his right knee and will undergo medical tests this Sunday. Yes, his lack of goal scoring is a bit of a concern, but he is still a massive part of the Arsenal title charge. As Arsenal fans, we can only hope this is nothing serious. But with the World Cup group stages now being officially over, a majority of the Arsenal players have qualified for the last 16, which includes Gabriel Martinelli and Gabriel Jesus for Brazil, Bukayo Saka and Aaron Ramsdale for England, Tomiyasu for Japan, Xhaka for Switzerland, Saliba for France, and Matt Turner for the USA. Let's move on to an Arsenal transfer update. First things first, you have Ryan Taylor of The Express saying he thinks one of the clubs that will be the most active is going to be Arsenal, because the feeling he gets for speaking to those at Arsenal is that they want to capitalise on their situation. Now that sounds amazing, but who exactly are Arsenal targeting? Well, according to TNT Sports Brazil, Arsenal are targeting Brazilian winger Pepe, who plays for Porto, with both Atletico and Chelsea also monitoring the player. Now this is a player that is a Brazil under-23 international, and it's not the first time that he's been linked with an Arsenal transfer. Having signed for Porto in 2021, in his first year he only scored 6 goals in all competitions, and this year he scored 3. And in terms of the profile, he is a right-footed left winger, but also weirdly able to play as a fullback on the right hand side. and he looks like a decent little player, but Arsenal instead need either a level raiser or a long-term superstar, and that is why their main target is of course Mykhailo Mudryk, who has been named the best player for Shakhtar in November, having also won the awards in September and October. Mudryk is not only a player that will help with the present, but his long-term potential under Arteta could be something special. Moving on to AC Milan's Ismael Bennacer, as according to journalist Carlo Lodisa, it said that Bennacer wants to change his agents because he wants a salary higher than 4.5 million euros that AC Milan have offered, and that's why Chelsea, Arsenal and Liverpool have all put him in their sights. We spoke about this guy in the last video and why in terms of profiles of age and ability, he ticks a lot of the boxes of what Arsenal need. The fact that he's going to have 1 year left on his contract in the summer, a lot of teams want to sign this guy, so even though Arsenal are expected to be in the race, as it stands Chelsea are a team that are seen as the favourites. But if the reports are to be believed, that the owners want to back Mikel Arteta massively, are Arsenal fans allowed to dream bigger? According to fairly reliable journalist Simon Phillips, Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool and Manchester United are all said to be seriously interested to sign Declan Rice, and are all expected to make moves. Now this becomes the most reliable source so far that has confirmed that Arsenal do have an interest in signing Declan Rice, and as his West Ham contract enters its final years, as Matt Law has confirmed, West Ham are preparing to sell Declan Rice, and the price tag is set as £70 million. A hefty price it may be, but when you look into the profile of Declan Rice, the fact that he's 25 years of age is more than Premier League proven, has shown massive signs of leadership becoming the West Ham captain, and many people see him as a potential level raiser. And with Thomas Partey soon turning 30, even though I don't think Rice is a better player right now, I think under the tutelage of Mikel Arteta, Rice does have a lot of fundamentals. And in terms of Arsenal and a number 6, Arsenal fans understand how hard that position is. It even took Partey a bit of time to adapt to it, as Arteta wants to eventually play 2 attack-minded number 8s, hence why we have Fabio Vieira, then you have Martin Odegaard and also Emil Smith-Rowe. To anchor that sort of midfield, you need to have a very specific profile, which is obviously going to be very expensive if you want that player to adapt straight away. It's a very rare profile, and Declan Rice is one of the few players in the world that has the potential to be the answer, and he could definitely be a very exciting signing. Another thing that makes Rice such an enticing prospect is that he can become a 2-in-1 signing. Even though his future is as a number 6, at West Ham he has shown he does have forward going potential, whether that's his ball carrying ability. Rice is also a very athletic player, physically he's very imposing, and having scored 5 goals in all competitions last season. You look at what Arteta has done with Granit Xhaka and wonder if he was to get his hands on Declan Rice, is there a potential box-to-box option? And the player himself has been speaking on his future, and he confirms 100%, I want to play in the Champions League. I have been playing consistently well for my club, and I feel like I really want to keep pushing. I see my friends here who are playing in the Champions League and for the big trophies. I think it's almost certain at this point that Declan Rice is going to leave West Ham this summer, and even if we do sign a Danilo in January, with the departures of Mohamed Elneny and the aging of Thomas Partey, even though Arsenal will have fierce competition from the likes of Chelsea, comment down below your thoughts if you think Arsenal should splash the cash on Declan Rice. But moving on to the other Arsenal news today, and starting off with next season, yes, 2023-24. It may seem far away, but according to the reports, this is currently the concept kit that Arsenal could be playing in next season. Now it's not bad, but if that's the kit that Arsenal are going to play in the Champions League with, for myself it is just a little bit underwhelming. As always, let me know your thoughts on this kit. Arsenal club legend David Dein has been speaking, and on Mikel Arteta he says, I think he's doing really well, and you can see the way the team are playing. He's obviously had good intuition from Arsene Wenger and Pep Guardiola, because he's playing their type of football, which is a pleasure to watch. Now David Dein of course is a legend of the club. He brought Arsene Wenger, he formed the Invincibles, and ever since he left Arsenal in 2007, a lot of Arsenal fans to this day still think we miss him. And he is a man that has a vast amount of top footballing knowledge. So the fact that he likes what he's seeing and has given his cosign to Mikel Arteta is definitely a very positive sign. But talking about cosigns, R9 Ronaldo Nazario has been speaking about Gabriel Jesus, saying that Jesus came to have dinner with us. He stayed by my side. We exchanged ideas. He is a very good friend of mine. We have been talking for many years. He is a very special boy. I was chatting with him, reassuring him that he is having a really spectacular year at Arsenal. And I was talking to him about how much of a pleasure I am getting from watching Arsenal play this year. the original Ronaldo is enjoying watching some Arsenal. It is things you love to see. But in terms of Gabriel Jesus, having now gone 14 games without a goal for club and country, he has been getting a little bit of hate from certain parts in Brazil. And even in terms of Arsenal fans, I've seen very few that are starting to ask a few questions. But in terms of myself, well, of course, I have my concern. I also understand that Jesus is a massive confidence player, and when he's in form, that can be his biggest strength, but when he's out of form, it can also be his biggest weakness. And I wish him the best for the World Cup, but he won't start over Richarlison. But as Arsenal fans, if we want to see that same Jesus that we saw at the start of the season, as a fan base, we have to back the player. And as we saw at the start of the season, when Jesus has the confidence from the fans, alongside scoring goals, he can be a special player and certainly a game changer. But talk to me down below in the comments, and what do you guys currently make of Gabriel Jesus? Anyways, that's the video there and there, so hopefully you guys have enjoyed. If you have, make sure to go down there to smash a like and also subscribe to the channel if you are new. If you want to follow your boy in all of them social medias, then the links are down below in the description. But that was all of today's latest Arsenal news, and I'm sure you guys are enjoying the World Cup because the last few days have been sensational, and now to the knockout stages we go, where so many Arsenal players are involved. Best of luck to them, and I will see you next time. Take care and elevate.